This morning, I'm pleased to introduce to you our guest speaker, Andre Cohen. Andre currently serves as the EEO Affirmative Action Diversity Coordinator for Anoka County and as president and owner of AM Horizons Training Group. Prior to his work at Anoka County, Andre was the academic dean at National American University. The National Association of Human Rights Workers awarded Andre with the Human Rights Worker of the Year Award for Andre's continued dedication to human and civil rights. We're excited to have Andre present The Cave, Why Is Change So Difficult? Please join me in welcoming Mr. Andre Cohen.
It's really exciting to hear those great things about yourself that you've written, read back to you. So many of your faces are very familiar to me from our previous sessions, and there seem to be some new faces as well. If you've not been in one of these presentations, if you could raise your hand, that'd be great. Okay, cool, I was right. All right, good. So just so you know, I want to be upfront and honest for those folks who've not been in my presentation and just let you know that I don't have all the answers. I am just a guy who has figured some things out by asking important questions. And so it is my hope that you feel that our interaction today was worth your while. And I will know that I've been successful if one thing occurs. If I've been able to give you one thing to think about. If I've encouraged you to think in different ways, in at least one way, then I know that I've been successful. And so I want to talk a little bit about kind of how we came to this point, and then move use that as our launching point. All right. So I have quizzes for those people who've been in my sessions before. So I have a pop quiz. So what is it that human beings want? What are the three things that they want? Do you guys remember? Anyone remember? What's the three things that people want? Dignity, okay. Someone said happiness. I heard happiness. Respect. All right. So let me give you a cheat sheet. What are those three things that all humans work or strive towards? Significance, belonging, and safety. All right? So significance, belonging, and safety. And people typically go after those things in ways that don't necessarily make sense to who? To us or to others, right? They do it in ways that make sense to them. People can learn, change, and grow, and that all of that is a part of their process. Even if their behavior seems somewhat obtuse to us, as long as they think it makes sense to them, then it works, all right? What is an attitude? How have we defined an attitude in the sessions that we've been in? Attitude. What have you been told about what an attitude is as a teenager? What did folks tell you about an attitude? That you had one, right? That you had an attitude. What else? How did they describe? They would say, change your attitude or adjust your attitude. What were they talking about? That you had a bad attitude, right? Typically, they're talking about some kind of emotional response to external stimuli, right? And so one of the things that we've talked about together is a new way of thinking about an attitude. And that an attitude is a response to a what? Starts with a G and ends in O. A goal, right? So when you achieve your goal, you have a what kind of attitude? A positive or good attitude. When you are denied your goal, you are said to have a bad or negative attitude, all right? So when you encounter an employee or you encounter someone in the community and they have a bad attitude, what do you know about them for sure? That they have not achieved their goal. At that point, you have a twofold responsibility. One is to what? What's your first responsibility to them? As a helper.
Make them feel like they belong.
Make them feel like they belong. Remember, what's driving their attitude? The lack of goal, right? So the first responsibility that we have is to help them achieve their goal. All right. Now, we all know that we have budget confined, we're confined by our budgets, by our resources, and so there may be some things that we can't help them achieve. So then what becomes our responsibility? So our first responsibility is to help them reach their goal. If that can't happen, or if their goal isn't aligned with the law, or if their goal isn't aligned with what we can do, then our next job is to do what? If we want them to have a good attitude, help them find a new goal. And the key is not to give them a new goal, but to help them find a new goal, right? And why do we need to help them find a new goal?
Because they're gonna have a good attitude and things are gonna go
Oh,
well.
all right. They're going to have a good attitude. Things are going to go on nicely. They'll be able to accomplish their goal. But if I give someone a goal, what is their response to that, to me giving them a goal?
Rejection.
Rejection. I'll do an experiment. All right. Sir, can you help me? Come on up. Come on up. I won't embarrass you, and hopefully you won't embarrass me. But what I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to put one hand up just like this. All right. Now I'm going to come back to you in just a second. I've been working out. All right. Under these clothes is a hulking body. All right. So I'm going to push his hand, and I want you to observe what happens because I'm. All right. I've been working out. So here we go. All right. On the count of three, I'm going to push your hand. All right. Are you ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. Stop. Give him a hand. Have a seat, please. Thank you. What did you notice? What happened? He pushed back, right? And oftentimes what happens, particularly as supervisors, is that we have things that we need for our employees to do. However, when we try to push those agendas on them, their natural reaction is to do what? To push back, all right? And it's really interesting because we do that same thing to ourselves. Right? We say, I have to do this, or I'm going to make myself do it, or, I've got this deadline, so I have to push myself. Has anyone ever heard someone say that they have to push themselves? What typically happens when people get in that mind frame that they have to do things, that they're being forced into doing things? Do they give their 100% best? No, they typically don't. As a matter of fact, some people may do this thing called procrastination. Has anyone ever heard of that concept? Right? Right? When people are forced into doing something, they start to procrastinate. Now, I want to tell you something that a lot of other people won't tell you, but there is no such thing as procrastination. Although people say that they do it, there is no such thing. As a matter of fact, procrastination is a lie. What procrastination says is, there are things that I should be doing, but I'm choosing not to do because this is easier or more fun. That's the truth, right? And so people put off what they should be doing for something that is easier or more fun to do. And then they get wrapped up and say, oh, I procrastinated. Like that's a real excuse for making choices not to do what you're supposed to do. All right. So I don't want to go too far down that road. I want to kick into this conversation about the cave. I have some video clips. I want to have some conversations, and I have some activities that I'd like for us to engage in. And so we'll go ahead and get started. In front